Hello, my name is Shauna Myers, and I'm in 2103 front end.
Hi, and I'm Sean McMahon, and I'm 2103 running. The purpose of our app today, What's Cookin', is to provide a digital recipe book for the user. Instead of having to look through different various paper recipes and having your cookbook stacked everywhere, this is a digital solution that brings all the recipes into one area, saving the user time and convenience.
So what we'll do here is a little walkthrough of our app. This is the home page. You can see we have an extensive list of recipes, many to choose from. When you favorite a recipe, just click the favorites button, and this will add it to a favorite section for this particular user. Can navigate to that favorite section and see all the recipes that you've already selected. Now, let's say you want to search for a specific recipe. Let's just say chicken. We will see just the chicken recipe pop up. Let's go back to home. If you want to cook a recipe, just click on the cook button, navigate to the cookbook section, and you will see recipes to cook. You can also search in this section. Let's say we want to have a cookie today. We've got several cookies to choose from. All right, back to your home page. You can see that if you're curious about one specific recipe, you can click on the details button, and this will show you the specific details for that recipe, the ingredients you're going to need, the instructions, and the cost for you to make that recipe. I think we will move on to Sean for the next section.
Awesome. So for our tech stack, we used JavaScript, HTML, and CSS for our main languages. For testing, we used Mocha and Chai. For our compiler, we used Webpack. And for this project, we decided to not use any more third-party NPM libraries. We stuck with just what the starter kit had. Now, so for some wins and some challenges, I would say the first one we had is we learned a lot on this project. We learned how to deal with Webpack. Webpack is super annoying, but learning how to actually write really clean code on every single file is super important. Really helps with debugging down the line, even though that Webpack will throw an error no matter where your syntax is wrong. So it's wrong, or it's hard, but at the same time, it's really good for the user. We really got some great practice learning with API calls, learning how to bring a promise in, learning how to deal with the syntax of bringing a promise in. Really got some great practice with that. And then I'm really learning how to apply array prototype methods, and chaining those together is super powerful. Once you see what you can do with array prototype methods, you really start to understand how powerful they are and what you can do with data. Second win, I would say, is we were on time for the entire project. It felt like maybe one day on Tuesday, it felt like we were getting a little bit behind just because we were stuck. But besides that, the entire time we felt like we were hitting deadlines and we're on it. We're asking for help and looking for our mentors when we needed to. Just felt like we didn't really feel like we were stressing about the time too much, which was really nice change. And then we really liked the responsive mobile first design. We really tried that first. So we started in a mobile design, and then from there, we just, for the desktop design, did the flex wrap property with the flex wrap going from, or for the column direction going from column to row. And that just made it super powerful, makes it super easy to like go from mobile to desktop rather than having to bring your desktop design and make it fit to mobile. You don't have to do like multiple breakpoints and set them up in a weird way. You can just add those properties and it's super good to go. So yeah, so I think those three things are the biggest wins on this project.
We definitely had some challenges, as with any undertaking of this sort. We hit a lull in our progress. I think Sean mentioned on Tuesday when we were in recipe repository trying to write functionality to retrieve recipes by name or ingredient. We were really kind of writing these unwieldy functions that were like 3 or 4 for eaches, so array prototype methods within array prototype methods, trying to filter through our double data sets and match our recipes, are their ingredients by their IDs, because one data set had a name and one did not. So it became kind of complicated, but it was logic we kind of finally were able to get working and later return to refactoring it. So it looked a lot cleaner by using reduce and a few for eaches inside of that, I believe. One of the challenges, especially for me initially, was Webpack. I had not worked with it previously. Definitely was a challenge to initially set it up. That was like a few days. It felt um, of of challenge trying to just get it to work or understand if it was working at all or just throwing me strange errors. But finally got that going, and it was nice to have that to understand like how to write cleaner code. And I think it did push me to writing much cleaner syntax. Another challenge we had was implementing SAD paths in our testing. We really wanted to, and this was something that we had on our project board, an issue we had created to go back and add more SAD path testing in, but we just really ran out of time. So that's something that we really hope to implement in the future a lot more, but at least it's on our minds and we are aware of the fact that it does need to happen. We also had some CSS button issues. You probably have noticed in this walkthrough a little bit that a couple of buttons will turn red and our details button will not. We just couldn't really find the logic in the time we had to figure out what was going on with our details button. It was something to do with adding a dynamic ID, I think in the DOM, that we were in the HTML we were inserting in the DOM, and we just kind of couldn't get there. So some funky things happen when you press the details button, and different recipes pop up that kind of shouldn't. So this is something that we would definitely like to clean up in the future. Sean, do you have any comments about future additions we would like to add?
Yeah, probably some more stat path testing, like you just said, that might have caught some of the errors that we're seeing on the DOM because some of our data model is possibly missing something in the API. Maybe looks like some of them are missing instructions, some of them are missing images. So really going back and adding the stat path so that like if they don't have that property, that we don't display it on the DOM or don't even include it in the data model really. That would be the biggest thing. And doing that, honestly, as you're constructing the data model. We said that we are going to come back to it, and then we never did. So doing that when you're constructing the data and just getting it out of the way, that should have been the thing that we did. And if we go back with this number one thing that we're probably going to need to fix, um, allowing a user to input their own recipes. This would be a really great idea if we could maybe add in their page where the user could go in and add their own recipe with the recipe name, the ingredients, and the instructions, so they can kind of have their own customization. So it's not just what the API gives us, it's what the user can input as well. I think that'd be a great feature. And then as well, I'd also like to implement the pantry. It would really be great if the user could input all the ingredients they have inside of their kitchen and then see from there automatically what they can cook rather than having to look at each recipe line by line to really see like what if they can actually cook that today. So automating that for the user would, I think, would be a really great experience and something that we would add down the line. Cool. And I believe that's it. That is our What's Cooking app. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, that's all we have for you. Have a great day.